So, as you know, before we left for recess and we had our science talk, I did share with you that today we will be investigating and observing an organism called a crayfish. Bless you. And let me write that word up here for you. Organism. Go ahead and read that word for me. Organism. And an organism is any living thing. Any living thing. Does anybody happen to know what organism is in Spanish? What's the word in Spanish? It's very close. Organismo.
Organismo.
Organism, very similar, very close, huh? And one example of an organism is, obviously, our crayfish. But another example of an organism could also be a dog. And another example of an organism could also be a plant. A plant. This happens to be a mature brassica plant that our second graders are growing over there. That's why I have that. And as we know, scientists observe and they try to use as many senses as possible to make careful observations. And the more observations they make, the more they can learn. They can wonder, they notice, they record what they're seeing. Okay? And today, you will be observing the crayfish. However, in the beginning, we're just going to be observing with our eyes only. Okay, please keep your hands to yourself. Okay. Thank you. So we're going to just be observing for a few minutes with our eyes. Also, I'm going to remind you over and over again that this is a living organism. The scientific term is organism. Right. And because it's a living organism, we have to treat it with care and respect. So, when you go back to your seats, I'm going to give you a few minutes to observe, and obviously you can talk. Observe the crayfish, okay? Show me again, what sense are we using only to start with? Eyes. Okay, just our eyes. You probably have an ear or two in there, but all right, you can go ahead and go to your seat.
Miss Nickerson, I noticed something cool about the crayfish. I see like these little white things on its back and then someone on its forehead.
They're fighting. They're trying to fight.
The brown one,
See?
only has 3 thighs on the right side.
See? That one's trying to attack that one.
I see that one's bigger, so that one might be the leader. One time a monkey looked at
You have the one without the claw, huh? Thank you, amphibians. Nice job. Good job, fish. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. So we are just going to come back for a moment to the carpet. And I need to show you one more thing, but I want you up close, okay? So just for a moment, please stand up, push in your chairs, and join me. So right above Tatiana's head are our two focus questions. The top one, what are the structures of a crayfish? And the bottom one, what are the functions of each structure? Okay. I know, good, I'm glad you're asking. You will, by the end of our investigation, you will be able to answer both of those questions. Okay? I know, we're going to get there. So, thank you, by the way, very much for just observing with your eyes. And I did speak with one table just about, because they were wanting to get up and see what everyone else's crayfish were doing. I do want to just remind you that scientists, we observe for long periods of time, because the longer we observe, the more we start to notice, and then the more questions we have, okay? So we want to take those times, we want to take a long time with the same organisms, okay? I know we're curious about what everyone else's looks like. Jasmine?
Well, I noticed on one of the crayfish's eyes, on each of them, there's like these clear things. My brother said, when he was in third grade, he said they're like little worms inside of them. I did see that. Yeah, that's what we saw.
So we're starting to look and observe more closely. Thank you. So, some of you may want to pick up the crayfish, so I'm going to actually use the plastic one and show you how to handle the crayfish still with care and respect, okay? So, watch closely. You're observing me right now. So, how you pick up the crayfish is this body shell is called a carapace. Carapace. So say that with me. Carapace. You're going to grab the carapace gently, but not too gently. You want to make sure that you're holding it. We just don't want to squish it, okay? So you're going to grab the carapace right behind the pincers. These are pincers. Say that with me. Pincers. They're pincers. I'll write that word up for you later. You'll see it. Right behind the pincers. Now, if the crayfish brings its pincers back, don't be afraid. They cannot reach you that way. That's why we're holding them back here. Okay? So you can pick it up.
And you can pick it up from the camera.
Thank you. So excited. So, grabbing it carefully behind the pincers, okay? And it can stay out of water for a little bit, but really it needs to be in the water. So if you wanted to pick it up, look on all the different parts, and then you can place it back in the water. The crayfish needs to stay near or above the basin. Lauren said it. So if it falls, it has very safe, secure place to fall. Okay? Is this a question, Ulysses? Yes. We're going to grab it behind the pincers, okay? But it will not hurt you. Okay? All right. Go ahead. to give the amphibians 5 points. So hold on. 5 points for the amphibians. If you're wondering why they're getting points, watch them. They're talking, they're sharing, but they're not screaming. Thank you. We want to hear each other's observations.
I'm scared.
So can you lift it up a little so we can see underneath? Can you observe what's underneath? So wait, can you pick it up again? Can you look closely? Come here. Oh, he dropped it. That's okay. Okay, do it again. Look closely. You did? So look, hold on. Birds and fish. Thank you. Okay. So there'll be one more time we come to the carpet. Okay? And it'll give you a little bit more focus. I'll wait. A little bit more focus for your observations, okay? All right, one more time. And could everyone please settle in so the people in the back can see? So we are going to raise our hand for this. Please remember that we are giving our attention to the speaker. What interesting parts have you observed so far? What interesting parts? Ulysses?
The belly of the gray crayfish was nothing but yellow.
Eddie?
When I picked it up, underneath, I think I saw a little bit of its bones.
Can you say that again louder? So we have some hypothesis happening, huh? This is why scientists observe closely. Christian?
I saw suction teeth, sort of. And also I kind of saw maybe teeth, just real teeth, but they were going this way instead of going up.
Marissa?
I saw little lines under the tail, sort of they're really small, under the tail.
And reptiles. I didn't see someone's hand up from there, but I know that you had noticed you were discussing something when I came by. Or you were wondering about things. What? Did anyone else notice the long things? Okay. Oh, lots and lots of schema. Okay, thank you. So, the parts that you've mentioned, like the mouth, maybe the bones, I just heard antenna or antennae, those are called structures. Structures. And a structure is the identifiable parts of an organism. So a structure is a part of an organism. I just mixed that word right together, huh?
Yeah.
Organism. Okay, so read that word with me. Structure. So, the word structure, parts of an organism, this is also a structure. Just like a house would have floors, the walls, and the roof, organisms also have structures. And you had mentioned several of them already. For example, here we go. We had mentioned teeth or a mouth. Somebody had mentioned the tail. Okay. We've talked about, some people were making the hypothesis maybe those were antennae or antennae. We have pincers. Okay. So you get to have your first notebook page. And this notebook page is called Crayfish Structures. This notebook page will help you and your team focus some of your observations. There are a list of questions, and you get to see if you can find them. For example, do crayfish have eyes?
Yes.
And if so, how many? 2. Maybe we want to look closely and make sure you have evidence of that, okay? So, I would like to remind you that the people at your team should be the ones that are really focusing and listening to you, okay? All right? That we want to make sure that other teams can hear each other, so we need to talk in a regular, just right voice, okay? Team captains, can you please stay? Everyone else can go and get their pencil out.